Like and subscribe if you believe in truth and common sense and you do not fear them. I made a video in response to Dr. Umar, Professor Black Truth, and an African diaspora about helping other groups. They said that we should not help other groups because other groups have not helped us. The reality of the situation is that that is false. Abolition, Civil War, whites helped us. Voting rights, civil rights, the defeat of Jim Crow laws, other group helped us. Understand this. You can't blame the groups because Caucasians use them to divide us. You see, what they did was they gave other groups more to keep us down. They gave other groups more to keep us down. That's what happened to it. And they used other groups to water down our movement. So don't blame the other group. Blame the cause of the problem. Because the reality of the situation is their enemy is our enemy as well. Even when you go back to the situation with the Mexican city councilman, or is he? I don't know what he is. I know he's in politics. I know that he's being portrayed by a state representative. I know he's being portrayed by his white associates because now if he gets caught transporting one of his people around, they can call him a hostage taker, call the person a hostage, and give him 10 years in jail. And he was crying about he can't take his brother, cousins, or whatever from here there. He can't go to their weddings and all this kind of stuff. But see, my position on that is that he has an awakening. And he has that, and that awakening is teaching him that your enemy is still my enemy. You are not a white supremacist. You are still in the same boat. So we should work together. That's my position. We should still work together. Because see, the reality of the situation is, and this was said on one of their channels, is that skin folk is not our kin folks. Skin folks is not our kin folks. So you do have black people that are puppets. Just like Mexican have Mexican people that are puppets. And evidently this guy was a puppet and thought that he had a permanent white privilege card. Then he found out that the only people that get white privilege cards are white people. So my thing is, if I can pull him back in and we can fight together, then I'm going to pull him back in and we can fight together. If not, hey, it is what it is. But I'm not going to hold all groups of people up because of how Caucasians have flipped the script in the way they play the game. I'm not going to do that. You see, what we must understand is that the enemy of our enemy is our friend. And we should try to open up the lines of communication so that we can handle this situation together. It's like Native Americans made the mistake of telling the 13 colonies that the Indian chief said, take one arrow, now break it. And he broke it. Then the Indian chief gave him 13 arrows and said, now break that. And he couldn't break it. See, I'm not talking about, I am definitely not talking about helping someone that's going to put us down. My position is this: Africans should not, who have cut off oil and gas to the Europeans, should not sell them gas and oil, because only thing they're going to do with it is use it to fire up their machines of war and attack Africa. So understand what I'm saying. When I'm saying helping groups, I'm not just saying go out there and help everybody. And when I made this post, I was talking particularly about the situation that's going on in Gaza. The situation that's going on in Gaza is being implemented by fake Jews. The same fake Jews that are training police officers in the United States to come here and delete us. The same group of people are trying to open up Ohio, the cop city in Atlanta, for urban warfare, and 90% of what police do is give out tickets. Any group that's going to challenge them, I'm going to support. I'm going to support. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Period. Now understand this. I'm talking about helping groups. Now, if I see probably a Mexican, Latino, or maybe even a man from, maybe even a Asian. I've never seen an Asian out asking for money. They work hard. But I've seen, and I haven't seen Mexicans or Latinos out there asking for money. They work hard. But I see Caucasians out there asking for money. And to me, if you are a Caucasian and you are out there begging for money, you have to be one sorry, pathetic, lazy individual, because you have everything in this country set up to succeed before me. And my opinion is this: whatever I have now, if I were Caucasian, I would probably have double. And I mean that for every Black American in this country. Whatever you have now, if you were white, you would have double that. And I'm going to say something else. Now, America, when we come to talking about who's sorry, lazy, and trifling, and who's not, America is upset with with Chinese. Why? Because they outwork them. They outwork them. First, they got mad at the Chinese about in the 1980s. I believe it, yeah, 1980s, early 1990s, when the Chinese came out with Toyota and Honda. Those cars you could drive, you could get 100,000 miles with no problem. American cars, after 3 or 4 years, Ford found on the road dead. American car, and then American car manufacturers got mad at China and was telling people, because everybody got hip and started buying cars from China, and then they came out with a thing talking about, well, if you love China so much, eat your car, because as if you're not supporting America, and you making these raggedy cars and expecting me to buy them. Now you put sanctions on China because you were mad that they were outdoing you and whatever with the chips. And instead of China folding under, they start making their own chips. Now China makes better chips than Caucasians do. And see, we, United States, led in that. But guess what? That was black people. Black people made the internet. Black people made the cell phone. But see, you don't hire us. And then what happens? When your racism goes up, you don't hire us. And then guess what? Then you have to do the work. And Caucasians, you are sorry, you are lazy, and you're not smart. That's why the Chinese outworked you, and now you're mad because they outworked you. The contract that you had with Saudi Arabia to build nuclear power plants, China got it. They do better work than you. China knocking you out the chip market. They do better work than you. You see, all America tries to do is control people with the dollar, because the dollar is used for international money transfers. And then you charge people an arm and a leg for that. And like I said, if I see a white person standing in the center there asking for money, I say, this cat's crazy. And then they come into a black neighborhood, ego must be running overtime. Or and if a black person gives them money, I think that black person is stupid. So understand this, when I'm basically talking about supporting groups that are in the same situation that I'm in. And even those immigrants that came to the United States, I'm going to try to help them by buddying up with them and explaining to them that we're in the same situation and we have the same enemy. The same people that's holding you back is holding me back. And now they done put us in this box, squeezed up in this box, and we're supposed to fight each other. And that's exactly what they want us to do, fight each other, so they can put it on TV and then call us both and say that we're both wild. Caucasians are the ones that aren't civilized, because what's going on in Gaza is uncivilized. And my thing to Africans, don't sell the Europeans. Come over there with those little sorry apologies. Don't sell them oil. Don't sell them gas. Let them freeze. Until they pay reparations and give back what they've stolen and give you your respect, don't deal with them. If they put sanctions on you, do what the Chinese did. Make it yourself or buy it from the Chinese. Cut them out the loop. The less Africa has to deal with the United States, the better off it is. Because common sense tells you, if they treat African Americans bad, you know they don't care nothing about you. Even the charities is a scam. I was giving clothes to some organization that was sending clothes overseas. Come to find out, they send the good clothes to the Caucasian companies and the rags to African countries. I was giving money to Doctors Without Borders. They were giving more help to white countries than they were to African countries, but they always got a picture of an African. I don't even watch white people on TV because it is a false portrayal. They are not Superman. They are not Batman. They are not the Flash. They are exploiters. They are colonizers and enslavers. They don't do any work. They just take from other people and then call themselves civilized. And don't get mad at me. That's their history. That is their history. And if they had invented the pyramids and all these things, why didn't they invent the computer? Why didn't they invent the telephone, the cell phone, blood plasma, the furnace? The gig is up. The internet done told on you. But like I want to say to Dr. Umar, professor of Blacksmith, African diaspora, understand one thing. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and I will always support them as long as we're in the same boat. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.